So I took a little break, and it almost seemed like the natural way to end part one. As I was saying, the Kiwi Farms has tried 3 times to cancel Yaba and Sam. The first was getting Belinda to try and convince her chat that Sam sent a man to Ron's store to probably kill Ron with guns. The second was getting Belinda and the Gaining Ground to convince their chats that Yaba was basically lashing out because she was jealous that Belinda got to interview Ron's former bandmate, despite the fact that Sam had previously had 2 streams covering anything noteworthy these had to say. And the third one was the benefit stream of Belinda's, which was actually 2 streams, where Belinda collected the money in the name of Yaba, but since Yaba later told told us that she didn't want the streams, Belinda was then trying to convince her audience that despite getting the donations, since Yaba didn't want a fundraiser, she also wasn't entitled to the money. And when Belinda finally agreed to send the money, she allegedly sent far less than what she owed, and tried to play it off to her audience that she is all in the negative now because she was so poor and she sent Yaba her last money. But as far as the Kiwi farms and the people that we know that we now have become know become to know as the Grift Gang is concerned, the third time cancelling Yaba was actually successful because anything that Yaba does now is just reconfirming that she is cancelled. And a lot of has happened, including the fact that well, this could be a little painful, but I'm trying to be sensitive, including the fact that it was revealed that the person who is now deceased actually had committed the sort of crime that even prisoners don't agree with, and that is actually ironic because that leads me to a very interesting question, since one of the evil and disgusting things that their side uh, tweeted on Twitter was that the wrong parent died, obviously referring to the fact that Yaba should have been the person to die. But the interesting question is that now that it is revealed that the other parent actually committed this crime violating an extreme minor, the question should be whether the author of the tweet still thinks that the wrong parent died, which would mean asking whether she would prefer that instead of a serious criminal dying, someone who had a YouTube channel and she didn't like would be the one who died.
You suck.
Let the horse out. She's good.
Actually, before jumping back to FFG, I would like to mention a couple of more things. After a particularly nasty stream of Chantal's, where she was repeating the talking points of Give Farms, when Yaba was covering that stream, she ended the stream with a blimp on her throat. That prompted the Grift Gang members to fire up streams with titles like Yaba broke down or Yaba lost her mind or something along those lines. And I would like to particularly highlight Belinda's stream because when Belinda was covering it and she reached to the point where Yaba was at the verge of crying, she mocked Yaba by saying, "Cry more, bitch, cry more," or something like that. And later in that same stream, she was like, "You do not sit there and lie on me." I'm sorry for my impression. That was supposed to be fake crying, so which meant that Belinda was trying to insist that what her audience must feel and think is that Yaba is a weak liar who cries because people don't believe her lies, but they should feel sympathy for her, Belinda, that is, because Belinda is so honest and fragile, and despite having bad credit, she has a good heart, and somewhere along those lines, there is also a human moment.
And I'll stand by that.
And speaking of human moments, Yaba actually tweeted out these words, "Pass away, peanut." But the thing is that perhaps Yaba should not have made this tweet, but what the Kiwi farmers and the Grift gangers try to not direct attention to is that they are constantly accusing Yaba of being a shitty person and a shitty mom and uh, worthless ruins of a human being. And when Yaba says something back, okay, maybe not something innocent, but says something back, they are like, "Oh my God, can you believe what this person said? Oh my God, we are calling police because we have receipts." And well, I was joking, but that is actually that could be very well the way Twitter administration see, because they do not understand the context. They do not pay. They do not know to pay attention to the harassment that Yaba faces, and they only get reports that someone told someone else to pass away, and that without a story that precedes this tweet, it naturally seems like uh, something evil and something undeserved and something like that. And and this is what Give Farms and the Grift Gang is hoping for. They 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 purposely they purposely hide the nasty things they say, but as soon as they get something back, they act like some victims, which is of course very familiar behavior, not only in girl world but in wider context. Okay, now we jump back to FFG. As I left you off, I was blocked from French Fried Girl's chat with 2 accounts, actually 3. But before that, I befriended a moderator from her chat, and this moderator told me in passing that she was online best friend with someone called Raven, who also was a creator. Since this was before the Grift Gang drama, I did know that Raven would end up in Grift Gang, or at least it would seem that she ended up there. I ended up joining a few of Raven's streams, and I actually enjoyed myself because Raven was also covering Ron, and when she was not covering Ron, she was covering supernatural beings and stuff. Okay, it seems someone's alarm went off. So anyway, in one of Raven's streams, she mentioned that the next stream she would panel up with someone who apparently was done dirty by French Fried Girl. So I was a little bit interested due to me being blocked from French Fried Girl. So I attended the stream, and this would actually cover the first topic I was originally going to talk to Yaba about. So the stream was not something I was expecting because I only attended the first half of the stream, and instead of saying something of substance, Raven was and the rest of the people in chat were basically trying to imply that FFG stole BBJ and she should give BBJ back to Chantal because, well, to exaggerate a little, basically their arguments was that the French Fried Girl didn't ask permission to take BBJ and the paperwork was not in order and such nonsense. Anyway, I didn't attend the next streams she did. She apparently did quite a lot, always with a thumbnail where some AI generated potato woman was raging or shouting loudly, or mouth open, and it was implied that she was yelling. But and in the stream, I where I chatted a few lines, and I basically said that yes, that FFG had me blocked, and I said what I felt. I felt that this was undeserved, and I didn't like that I was blocked, which uh, you can agree or disagree with that behavior, or you can find it funny. Anyway, I didn't use any foul language towards FFG, but when the uh, now now it's 2024, and the 2nd of July was approaching, which meant the third Banjul reunion. And well, in July, uh, the beef between Yaba and FFG hadn't gone off, so naturally I was more friendly towards FFG than I am now, and so I emailed FFG saying that I would like to get unblocked, and FFG replied to me, that's I should give her credit to replying, but I don't want to. Anyway, FFG replied to me with I, I don't maybe it was like it was, yes, it was two messages. The first one was that well, I'm not reading the email or quoting it by heart, but basically the gist of the first email was that she's actually surprised that I want to be unblocked because I was seen in an enemy chat or in another creator's chat, uh, and I wrote back to her saying that, well, basically I admitted that I was in another creator's chat. This sounds like Chantal asking why Tracy was in Melke's chat, but whatever. I didn't have to do this, but I said to FG that yes, I was in Raven's chat because I was curious to see what she said, and FG replied back to me saying that it doesn't matter whether it was Raven. You were nasty to me and Girl Gang that you were nasty to me and the Girl Gang, and I saw it with my own eyes. And that was the last email. We haven't. Well, I think I replied to that, but she didn't reply to me, and the way she worded that is suspicious to me, because even if we assume that I told in Raven's chat that FFG is a bitch, even if I did that, I can't be sure, but I think I didn't, but even if I did, I definitely wasn't being nasty towards the girl gang, because well, and this is just an example. This is not to give imply that this or that person is bad. For example, Oceana song or Blondie, especially Blondie, of course. I see them in other chats, so I always say hello to them. I think Oceana's song I only see in Pulpy's chat from the church that I visit. Always when I see Oceana song in Pulpy's chat, I say hello. And Blondie, of course, Blondie seems to be everywhere. So I and I knew that I meet those people in other chats, so there would have been no reason for me to be nasty towards them. In fact, it would have been counterproductive to me, because if I was nasty towards them, why would I? Okay, it was nonsense what FFG said, and I actually think that I French fried girl, actually this was in I don't know, in fall of 2023, I think. She actually had a public fallout with one of her mods called Red Blade, and Red Blade was at least it was alleged that Red Blade was being racist towards another moderator from French Fried Girls chat. And side note, the moderator that was being racist, that was being at the end of the receiving end of that racism, I haven't seen that moderator anymore. She was a young girl, so she may have left. Not that I'm age shaming, but it is the general consensus in girl world that people in the early 20s are kind of not welcome, but it is thought that they would find the girl world uninteresting. But anyway, Radblad, as I said, was the mod that French Fried Girl was publicly falling out with, and Radblad was actually the mod who most likely banned me from French Fried Girls. So I do not necessarily need to put those two facts together, because maybe I'm reading between the lines, but since Red Blade was apparently hiding the fact that she was racist and doing this, or basically acting like a good girl in FFG's face, that would lead me to believe that maybe there is a chance that Red Blade actually manipulated some screenshots to make it appear that I made some nasty remarks towards FFG and the girl gang. Maybe something like saying that they should all fuck off and go to hell, and they are all cocaine smuggling hookers or something. And I actually made an example of a mock-up chat that was actually I edited this together last night, and obviously I want to say that this chat didn't happen because it is edited by me, and maybe the last sentence by the so-called FFG is a little harsh, but it actually connects to my opinion as to why French Fried Girl can't forgive me, because French Fried Girl has many times said that proudly that she's a Scorpio, and I know that and that she holds grudges, not because someone did something bad or anything, but because she's a Scorpio. And I know that there are many people in girl world who believe in astrology in larger or smaller amounts, but I want to, if a French fried girl is if a French fried girl is so proudly saying that she is doing actions out of spite, and spite is the force that motivates her. I would like to ask her. I would like to pretend to ask her, in spite that, for example, whether she has looked up the zodiac sign of, the stabby person, because maybe the stabby person couldn't help his stabbing due to his zodiac sign, which actually, basically what I'm trying to say is that zodiac is very zodiac is very funny because it's basically I actually wanted to say something really evil to French fried girl, since she's a stunt believer, staunch, what, I don't know what's this word, I forgot. She's a staunch believer of zodiac. So I want to say that basically zodiac is the religion for rebellious people. Be, sorry, weak rebellious people, because you don't want to believe in the classic religion, but you can't handle your life without any religion. But since you are rebellious towards classic religion, you turn to zodiac, and basically you treat zodiac as your treat astrology as your religion. And just like in religion, just like the, one of the laughable uh, aspects of religion, it is also true in zodiac that good that your good traits are because of your zodiac sign, but your bad traits are because you're a bad person. Anyway, I was at least trying to get towards saying that just as Kiwi Farms launched hate campaigns against Jabba and Sam, they also launched a campaign against FFG. Since FFG has chosen largely to not engage with this drama on her channel, and I don't look at her tweets, maybe the campaign against FFG was largely contained in Kiwi Farms, except maybe the few times when Chantal made some attempts against FFG's mother, and also other people have tried to claim that when FFG lost her mother, she was at the very next day she was online and raging against Chantal, which FFG took a few weeks to a month off to process, and I'm not meaning process in the Chantal meaning. I mean actual processing and trying to manage her feelings. But anyway, apparently this campaign against FFG was still impactful. So now the um, the assumption is that perhaps FFG thought long and hard how can she make the kiwi farmers stop attacking her, and she figured that maybe she didn't know for certain, but she took a chance. Anyway, she decided to basically join Kiwi Farms in attacking Java, and that is actually uh, hilarious because for a long time, people, I mean, Griftgang and the Kiwi farmers were saying that, hey, where's BBJ? We haven't seen BBJ. We demand proof of BBJ. And at that time, Java and French fried girl were still friends. So it was like uh, the constant nagging about BBJ was seen as one of the as part of the nastiness the Kiwi farms did.
Rest in peace, BBJ. Guarantee you, Frenchie fucking put that cat on the goddamn grill.
But now, and I don't want to accuse Jabbar or AK or Alex, but now that Jabba and Alex and AK are, and even Kimmelina.
Shut up, Kimberly.
Now that the support group kind of is saying that, hey, we haven't seen proof of PBJ being alive. Now that the support group is saying this, now suddenly Kiwi Farms seemingly do not harass FFG about BBJ anymore. And I'm not currently trying to say that the support group has done something evil and mean. I'm just bringing it out as a point that now that the support group is kind of targeting FFG in asking what has happened to BBJ. Now suddenly the farms is not asking FFG to provide proof of BBJ, and I realize that it's kind of an unnatural spot to inject, but now I want to mention the memberships. I don't know why I'm pointing. You don't see what I have on my monitor. Now I want to address those memberships, and I think I mentioned earlier or in the first part or whatever that FG has for a long time said that she. Oh yeah, I did mention that FFG has for a long time said that she isn't going to make memberships. She's never going to make memberships because she believes that the content should be free, which is of course very noble of her. But as I said earlier, this actually is not what it seems, because it's not even necessarily evil from French Fried Girl. It's just the observation that since she doesn't get membership, she doesn't have memberships, she gets more super chats, perhaps more compared to Yaba, and she sees that the super chats are so plentiful that it is reasonable to calculate that the memberships would maybe not be financially overriding the super chats. Or I could have worded it better. Anyway, now that Yaba and FFG are fighting, I mean, if you have studied psychology, you may question why the first name I mentioned was Yaba. I should say that now that FFG and Yaba are fighting, now FFG suddenly decided to make memberships, and this was actually yesterday. I don't remember in whose chat, but Kimberlina mentioned that Yaba, not Yaba, that French fried girl was launching memberships, and at first I didn't believe her because, of course, why should I? FFG has told us many times that she will definitely never ever do memberships, but I went to FFG's channel and I looked and I looked. I had my glasses on. I mean, I have optical glasses, and I had my glasses on and I looked for a long time until I noticed join button on French Fried Girl's channel. And when I clicked the join button, I got the, well, basically I made this composite screenshot that is now my most viewed tweet. Yeah, yes, it is. And which the reason I made this screenshot is not simply to prove that she has memberships, but the actual screenshot of the custom emojis she is offering as channel perks, and I haven't checked whether she has added any more emojis, but when I checked and when I made the screenshot, there was only one custom emoji, and it was of cabbage pastel, and I haven't seen the cabbage patch dolls naked, and frankly, why should I Google how cabbage patch dolls look like naked? But anyway, this cabbage patch doll is naked, and it's apparent that she has a big belly. And I'm saying she because although basically it has always been sort of acceptable for men to have long hair, even men that are uh, observed to be heterosexual. This cabbage pastel is most likely meant to represent Yaba, and I was in the first chat that FFG did uh, after doing memberships. In fact, she made a community tab that she has some big news and everyone should attend her family meeting. I say when I have friends and family on my support group T-shirt, fake support group T-shirt. But anyway, this family meeting of hers was that stream where she said that well, she announced memberships. She said that these memberships are temporary; they will not stay, which is something that can be argued with. Perhaps she's seeing whether memberships gain popularity and gain enough members, and who is turning away free money. But anyway, it's you can say that Sam and Yaba, and I'm lumping them together for this. You can say that Sam and Yaba have membership emojis that are character that are mocking pictures of Belinda and Chantal and even Chantal's parents, because people usually have parents. And yes, that is true. Sam and Yaba do have those emojis, but the difference here is that that French fried girl deliberately launched memberships to basically you can understand that that it surely seems like that her only reason to launch memberships is to display this emoji of fat cabbage bale kid, which is supposed to be Yaba, and everyone in the chat knows that it's like mocking of Yaba. And actually, as I said, I attended her streams, and I frequently saw people randomly spamming those Yaba emojis, which, like I said, technically looks the same as when Yaba asks her chat to spam Chantal emojis, but actually it is different. And what makes it different is that Yaba and Sam didn't launch their memberships to maliciously display those emojis, but French fried girl did. And if she says that these memberships are temporary and they are spiteful and they are not serious, which actually resembles the way Belinda and the Gaining Ground are saying about one thing or another, that these things are not seriously, these are jokes. If French fried girl launched her memberships for this apparent inside joke, she could have chosen the price of 99 cents. I don't actually know. I see only the price in euros. So I don't know if 90 cents would be 99 euro cents. Actually, what I also wanted to mention about these memberships is that there are always people who although they attend our streams, I mean also French fried girls streams, they don't necessarily attend every stream of either FFG or Yaba or both. So there are always people who don't know every single thing that is happening with the inside drama, and that is why Yaba is basically not trying not to cover this drama as much as FFG, which is ironic because FFG tries to claim that she is the one who is staying out of drama, and Yaba is making angry streams, which is also the narrative of the Grift Gang in general. But the thing is that in the last stream, Yaba actually was purposely trying to avoid this topic, and when somebody, one of those somebodies was me, mentioned that a French fried girl is actually live at the same time in the morning as Yaba. Uh, she said that she doesn't control the time slot, and she doesn't care who chooses to. Or actually, what she said is that she's streaming in the time slot that is convenient for her, which means that she didn't actually mention FFG at all, not even indirectly. But FFG is appears to be the one on stream who tries to pretend that she does not talk about the drama, but almost seems to wait for people to ask what the drama is about, so she can tell them. And yesterday, when I made my screenshot tweet, someone, I don't know whether she watches both Yaba or French Fried Girl, but someone who apparently watches French Fried Girl occasionally asked what was it all about, because she was under the impression that French Fried Girl did not make memberships, and today when FFG made her stream, someone also asked her, uh, but in super chat form, she spent money to ask FFG why she had memberships, and she replied to that woman that she did not want to do those memberships, but if there are some bitches who think that they have a one-up on her, she has to do what she has to do out of spite, which sounds exactly like what the grift gang is doing by saying that you should donate to us because it will piss off Yaba. And this is exactly what French Fried Girl is doing with those memberships, because she, although she has no obligation to reveal her Twitter history to her YouTube audience, she's doing her nasty arguing and slandering in Twitter, and on YouTube she acts all innocent and victim like, just like Belinda or the Gaining Ground. And since French Fried Girl has a large audience, she is doing her best on her streams to say that there is this fat bitch who is attacking her for no reason, and also is an anti-Semite by proxy. So that that might convince her audience to join her memberships and spam the Yaba emoji, because you have to show your allegiance to the cult leader. And what I mean by being anti-Semite by proxy is that basically this started, well, as I was trying to imply, there exists a chance that FFG, that why she actually started attacking Yaba is that she was counting on the fact that if she attacked Yaba, the Kiwi farms would leave her alone, and that is somewhat what happened, but that of course doesn't paint French fried girl as the good guy in any way. But what FFG is trying to portray was the reason was that Yaba was growing both Yaba and Sam were growing friendly towards AK and Alex and the so-called bodega. And just like I said with the pass away peanut example, the same applies to AK because as far as I know, what happened is that the very beginning is perhaps that the gaining round thought that he made a new potential relationship with a guy called Tragic, and since Tragic heavily implied that he is not gay and basically rejected gaining round started to spread hateful rhetoric towards Tragic, and for some reason, since Tragic was involved with AK, this slandering Tragic somehow transformed into slandering AK, but that might not be the whole truth of what happened. Anyway, AK was getting a lot of hate, and this is not like a homosexual coming out of the closet. This is AK being somewhat different than your average Caucasian white woman, and and basically the hateful rhetoric towards AK included racism and racism again, because it was strong racism. And basically, since AK was constantly being called a hairy dick nose, AK obviously didn't find it very flattering. And since this was a very much repeated occurrence, she made a choice that could be argued to be not the greatest choice. She made the choice to call a Jewish woman a fucking Jew.
A Jew? Here?
No, not a Jew, a Chew.
Which is, like I said, maybe not the best choice, but it if you consider the context, it is easier to see that this might not reflect her overall stance towards feelings regarding Jewish people. But since French fried girl is Jewish, she maybe took AK's words to heart more than an average white woman would. So she began to spread the narrative that AK is an anti-Semite, and since Yaba and Sam were becoming friendly with AK, that is what makes Yaba an anti-Semite by proxy, which obviously was not Yaba's fault at all. because Yaba is not the one who said that word. And Yaba seems to be a rational woman who understands that AK said this out of emotion. And that emotion was not anger, that emotion was frustration. Perhaps the same frustration Yaba herself felt when she said, "Pass away, Peanut." But anyway, now I want to talk about the first point I actually wanted to talk to Yaba about, but it appears that I had to kind of give my take on the whole grift gang drama. But this would also seem to be a perfect place to uh, theoretically end part two. So I would like to take a little break.
Hey, listen, I'm sassy tonight because after tonight, I'm gone for a bit. I can't really explain, but I got shit going on. I'll be back later next week. So you know what? I'm giving you motherfuckers an entertaining show. I would suggest you 1.5 it because I'm probably not going to keep this up. Not like it matters because pedophile enabling supporters like Lisa Simpson are recording anyway, but nobody gives a fuck. But speed it up. Watch it while you can now.
And then later in the same stream, she was like, I sorry.